Humans were only ancient rumors to them until we joined the battle. The stars above the broken system were dull and cold. Smoke from destroyed ships drifted in the empty space between planets. Alien fleets had been fighting here for decades, or at least it felt like decades. Every world they touched became a battlefield, and every fleet they built seemed smaller than the last. Generals of the alien coalitions stared at their screens with tired eyes. None of them had ever seen a human fleet in the skies, yet every now and then old stories whispered about humans. They said humans were strong, clever, and unpredictable. Some called them ghosts, some called them myths. Most called them nothing but ancient rumors, stories from a time that had passed. In a small, hidden corner of space, far from the smoke and fire, a human ship drifted quietly. Captain Alex Carter sat in the control room, staring at a blank map. The ship was old, its design simple, but every system worked perfectly. The humans did not build for style. They built to survive. Alex had heard the stories of how the galaxy feared humans, but he had never believed them. Still, he knew the time might come when humans would need to act again. Lieutenant Lisa Brown moved across the control room, checking the screens and monitors. She looked young, but her eyes carried the patience of someone who had seen too much. "Captain," she said, "we are receiving unusual signals. Some alien fleets are breaking formation near System 7. Alex leaned forward. "Show me," he said. The holographic screen shifted, showing bright dots moving in strange patterns. Alien ships were collapsing into chaos. Their tactics were failing and their communication signals were breaking down. "So they are fighting themselves," Alex said quietly. "Good, maybe we will see less blood when we arrive." Engineer Kevin Hall was bent over a console, adjusting power levels to the engines. "Our jump drives are ready," he said. "We can enter the battle zone without being detected." Kevin was always calm, always focused. Alex liked that in him. "Good," Alex said. "We cannot waste time. If humans are only rumors, let's make them real." The humans prepared quietly. They did not shout orders or make unnecessary noise. They had learned long ago that the galaxy did not need human pride. It needed human efficiency. Every crew member knew their role. Every weapon, shield, and engine had been tested 1,000 times. Far away in the middle of the chaos, alien commanders were arguing. Their screens showed fleets scattering and their communications were failing. "Where are the humans?" one general demanded. "We have heard stories of them for centuries." "We have seen nothing," another answered, his voice trembling. "My grandfather fought against them, they say. They were never destroyed, only gone, but if they appear now—" His voice trailed into silence. Fear spread faster than any weapon. Back on the human ship, Alex stared at the map and made a plan. He knew the aliens expected attacks, but not from humans. He knew they would panic. "Paul," he said, turning to the communications officer, "send a signal to the fleets in System 9. Let them know we are joining. Do not tell them our strength, just let them know help is coming." Commander Paul Wright nodded. He pressed the controls, sending a subtle signal across the galaxy. The aliens would see it and they would not understand it. That was the point. Humans had always been difficult to predict. Humans fought with logic, patience, and when necessary, surprise. The ship entered the first jump point, moving closer to the chaos. Outside, the smoke from destroyed alien ships glowed faintly. Explosions in the distance shook the sensors. Alex and his crew watched quietly, not impressed but aware. They had survived worse. Lisa checked the sensor feed again. "Captain, they are moving closer to the planet. If they continue, the civilians will be in danger." Alex shook his head. "Then we need to move faster. Humans do not abandon the weak." He turned to Kevin. "Engines at full, shields ready." The ship hummed as energy flowed to every system. It was ready for the fight, even though the crew knew the fight was not yet theirs. Meanwhile, the aliens did not know what to expect. Their fleets were trained to fight other aliens, not humans. The myths had never prepared them for strategy, patience, and efficiency combined. Some officers whispered among themselves. "Do humans still exist?" one asked. Another shivered. "They are supposed to be gone. Only old stories remain." The human ship moved through the debris, silent and steady. Alex watched the chaos ahead and felt no fear. Humans had always found ways to survive, to adapt, and to act when others hesitated. He thought of Amy Turner, the medic who could treat dozens of injuries at once. He thought of John Miller, who could take a ship apart and put it back together without anyone noticing. The crew was ready. Humans were ready. In the alien fleets, ships began to scatter. Some commanders tried to regroup, but orders were unclear. Panic spread faster than tactics. Whispers of humans began to grow louder. Even without appearing yet, the mere possibility of human presence caused hesitation. Alex leaned back in his chair and whispered, "Let's remind them humans were never just a story." The ship moved closer, entering the edge of the battle zone. Explosions glimmered like distant fireworks. Ships fell into each other, collided, or simply vanished. Alien soldiers looked up at the sky, sensing something they could not name. "Captain," Lisa said, "we are entering sensor range of the enemy fleets. They will see us soon." Alex nodded. "Good, let them see, let them remember." As the humans approached, the battle began to change. Not through violence alone, but through presence. Humans were precise, careful, and unpredictable. The aliens had spent centuries learning to fight each other, but humans did not fight like anyone else. They moved where others hesitated. They acted where others paused. The myths of humans had become rumors, and rumors were fragile. Now humans were real. The galaxy had not seen them in generations, but their arrival was undeniable. Alien commanders looked at the sky and wondered if the stories were true. The human ship glided through the battlefield like a shadow. Alex's plan was simple: observe, protect, and act where needed. Unlike other fleets, humans did not seek to destroy for glory. They sought to survive and to help where it mattered most. Kevin checked the shields again. "All systems stable, no surprises so far." "Good," Alex said. "We cannot waste energy, we move only when it matters." The alien fleets began to notice changes. Some ships stopped attacking, some tried to regroup. Tension spread like a virus. No one wanted to be first. Everyone wanted to see what humans would do. Alex watched quietly. He knew the first steps were always the hardest. A small action could change the tide of battle, and humans were patient enough to wait for the perfect moment. In the control room, Lisa spoke softly. "Captain, the civilians on the planet will not survive if the fleets keep fighting like this." Alex's eyes narrowed. "Then we make them survive." He tapped a few controls. Small ships detached from the main vessel, moving toward the planet to protect the innocent. Humans did not rush. They did not panic. They moved with purpose. The myths and whispers had begun to turn into fear. The aliens sensed it, but they did not understand it. Humans were not myths anymore. Humans were present, and presence alone was a power the galaxy had forgotten. The stars above the broken system continued to burn cold. But somewhere, amid the smoke and fire, a human ship moved steadily, quietly, ready to remind the galaxy that humans were never just a rumor. The human ships moved closer to the battle, small but steady against the chaotic. Alien fleets. Captain Alex Carter watched the monitors as explosions flickered in the distance. Alien ships collided, some spinning out of control, others drifting aimlessly. The humans did not attack recklessly. They did not rush into the middle of chaos without purpose. They moved with a plan, patient and quiet, waiting for the right moment to act. Lieutenant Lisa Brown scanned the battlefield. "Captain, alien fleets are breaking their formations. Some are retreating, but others are attacking civilians on the planet." She paused, eyes narrowing. "If we wait too long, there will be no one left to save." Alex nodded. "Then we move now, but carefully. Humans do not fight only to destroy, we fight to protect." He turned to Engineer Kevin Hall. "Prepare the landing pods. Amy, get your med teams ready." Amy Turner, the medic, checked her equipment calmly. She was always ready for the worst, but she never panicked. "We can reach them in 15 minutes, she said. "Enough time to stabilize civilians before the aliens notice us." The human ship released small, agile pods that slipped through the chaos like fish in a stream. They moved past explosions, debris, and fleeing alien ships. On the planet below, civilians huddled in abandoned buildings, frightened and confused by the alien war overhead. The humans landed quietly, not drawing attention, and began helping the frightened people. John Miller led a team of human soldiers, moving between the alien attack zones and the civilians. They did not attack for glory. They attacked only when necessary to protect. Alien soldiers, trained to fear humans as ancient myths, hesitated when they saw them in action. Their tactics fell apart because humans did not behave like anyone they had ever faced. Back in space, the human ship observed the battle with precise calm. Alex knew that humans had one advantage no other species had mastered: patience. Alien fleets rushed, attacked, and panicked. Humans waited, studied, and acted with purpose. He looked at Paul Wright, the communications officer. "Send updates to our allies." Let them know we are moving carefully, not aggressively. Let them see humans do not fight for war, but for survival. Paul nodded. Already transmitting, Captain. Alien commanders were growing more uncertain. Their scanners detected the humans, but they could not understand their movement. They are too few, one general said. How can so few ships change the tide of battle? Another shook his head. The stories, maybe they were true. Maybe humans were never gone. Fear spread through their ranks like fire. On the planet, the humans moved quickly and quietly. Amy Turner and her medics stabilized injured civilians. John Miller's team blocked alien soldiers without harming them when possible, using clever traps and precise strikes. Civilians began to see humans as a strange kind of protection, moving calmly and decisively while the aliens panicked. Lieutenant Lisa Brown observed from the ship above. Captain, alien fleets are slowing down. They are confused. They do not understand why humans protect rather than destroy. Alex smiled faintly. Humans are not here to kill for power. We are here to survive and to help others survive. That is why we are stronger than they expect. Small human ships began to act in coordinated patterns, intercepting attacks, rescuing civilians, and shielding retreating alien ships that were no longer following orders. Alien fleets tried to attack, but every movement they made was predicted or countered without unnecessary force. The humans moved like water, filling gaps and protecting what others had abandoned. In the chaos, a young alien officer named Trevin watched from his bridge. He had never seen humans, but he had read the stories passed down in his family. They cannot be real, he whispered. The myths, they cannot fight like this. But as he saw the humans shield civilians and guide retreating ships, his disbelief grew. Maybe they are real, he muttered. Alex noticed the change. Paul, open a small channel to the alien fleets. Do not threat. Just show them we mean no harm unless necessary. Paul transmitted a calm message. We are humans. We do not seek war with you. We are here to protect, not conquer. The humans on the planet below are safe. The aliens were stunned. They had never experienced communication like this during war. Hesitation spread and orders slowed. Some commanders ignored the transmission, thinking it was a trick. Others paused, unsure what to do next. Back on the planet, John Miller led a group of civilians toward safe zones prepared by the humans. Move quickly but stay calm, he said. Humans will protect you. The civilians trusted him without question. Humans had always been reliable when others failed. Amy Turner moved through the injured, her hands steady, her voice calm. You are safe now, she told a small child. Humans are here. The child looked at her with wide eyes, a mixture of fear and hope. Small alien fleets tried to regroup, but humans acted as a steady barrier. They did not rush into destruction. They did not panic. They protected, guided, and countered attacks only when necessary. The aliens had never seen tactics like this. They had never faced creatures who fought with logic, not rage. Alex watched from his ship as humans moved below. He knew the legends would change forever after this day. Humans were no longer rumors. Humans were present, acting in ways no one expected. The galaxy had forgotten the strength of patience and planning. Humans reminded them. Lieutenant Lisa Brown spoke quietly. Captain, the alien commanders are beginning to hesitate. Some of their ships are retreating from the planet. Alex nodded. Good. Humans act only when necessary. Now they see the difference. On the planet, John Miller and his team continued to guide civilians to safety. They created barriers, helped the injured, and redirected alien forces without causing unnecessary death. The aliens did not know how to respond. The humans were not violent. They were precise. They were calm. They were unpredictable. Small explosions marked where alien ships tried to attack humans, but each strike was countered by human efficiency. Shields moved at the right moment, weapons fired only when necessary. Aliens began to realize that humans did not act like anyone else. Fear replaced confidence in their ranks. Alex considered the bigger picture. We cannot win this war alone, he said. But we can change how they fight. We can show them humans exist and humans think differently. He tapped a few controls. Prepare more landing pods. We need to save more civilians and guide the remaining Allied ships. Kevin Hall adjusted the engines. Pods are ready. We can reach the remaining zones quickly. Human ships moved like silent guardians through the chaos. Civilians began to trust them. Alien fleets hesitated, confused by humans' calm movements. Whispers spread among alien officers. Humans exist, one said. They are here, another shivered. And they are different, stronger than we imagined. John Miller led a team to a crumbling building where civilians hid. He checked their supplies, patched wounds, and guided them to safer areas. The humans worked quickly but without panic. Every action was purposeful. Every decision saved lives. Amy Turner moved alongside him. "We need to keep moving," she said. "Aliens are still attacking sporadically." "I know," John said. "Humans do not fight for glory, we fight to protect. That is why we survive." Above them, the human ship monitored the battlefield. Alex's strategy was working. Alien fleets were disorganized. They could not understand why humans acted differently. Humans did not rush to kill. Humans did not panic. Humans used patience and planning to win small victories that no one noticed at first. Lieutenant Lisa Brown smiled faintly. "Captain, look. Some alien ships are pulling back completely. The others are slowing down. They are not attacking civilians anymore." Alex leaned back. "Good, humans are not myths. Humans are here and humans act differently. They do not fight like the galaxy expects." Small landing pods returned to the human ship, filled with civilians and rescued allies. Amy and her medics checked each person, making sure they were stable. John Miller reported that all remaining civilians were accounted for and safe. The alien fleets began to regroup, but confusion remained. Commanders whispered in fear. Humans had arrived, and humans did not fight like anyone else. They were precise, patient, and unpredictable. They did not seek glory, but they acted decisively when it mattered most. Alex watched quietly. "The galaxy will remember this day," he said. "Humans are no longer rumors. Humans exist and humans protect." The stars above the broken system burned quietly, but below, humans moved steadily through chaos, guiding, protecting, and acting where others failed. The galaxy was beginning to understand that humans were different, and different could change everything. The alien fleets were still confused. After seeing humans protect civilians and guide allies instead of attacking recklessly, commanders were unsure how to act. Some ships stopped moving, some turned back, and some drifted in space, waiting for orders that never came. The humans above were calm, steady, and silent. Captain Alex Carter watched from the bridge, his eyes scanning every movement. He knew humans had one advantage no other species had: clear thinking. Lieutenant Lisa Brown adjusted the sensors. "Captain, they are trying to reorganize, but their systems are slow. They cannot predict our actions." Alex nodded. "Good. Humans act not for fear or rage, but with logic. They will never see us coming until we are already there." Engineer Kevin Hall monitored the engines. "Jump pods are ready. We can strike quickly anywhere needed." Amy Turner checked medical supplies. "We can handle the injured wherever they are." John Miller gathered a small team. "We continue protecting civilians and allies. Humans act where others fail. We cannot waste this chance." The first targets were small, scattered alien ships that still threatened the planet below. Humans did not attack in anger or aggression. They moved precisely, disabling weapons, cutting power, and redirecting ships. The aliens did not expect such calm efficiency. Every move humans made was calculated. No energy was wasted. No civilians were harmed. Alex spoke quietly. "Paul, send a calm message. Show them humans are not here to fight for glory, only to protect." Paul Wright sent the transmission. The alien fleets hesitated. Some commanders ignored it, thinking it was trickery. Others paused, uncertain. Fear spread slowly but surely. Humans were unpredictable, and unpredictability terrified those who depended on control and order. On the planet, John Miller's team guided civilians to safer zones. Amy Turner patched wounds and calmed frightened people. Every action was simple but effective. Every movement was careful and precise. Humans acted with purpose, not chaos. Alien forces tried to stop them, but humans moved faster, smarter, and without panic. Lieutenant Lisa Brown observed from the human ship. "Captain, alien forces are beginning to retreat in some areas." "Their morale is low, they are confused." Alex nodded. "Humans protect, humans do not fight like them, they cannot handle it." He leaned back, watching the patterns of battle. Humans were not myths anymore. Humans were reality, and that reality moved differently than any alien expected. Small groups of alien ships tried to regroup, but the humans predicted their movements. They used small strike teams to disable weapons or cut engines without destroying the ships unnecessarily. The aliens could not understand. Their tactics relied on rage, overwhelming numbers, and direct attacks. Humans used patience, planning, and calm precision. On the planet, civilians began to notice the difference. Humans did not scream, shout, or panic. Humans moved steadily, guiding them to safety, protecting them from stray attacks, and calming those who were scared. The stories they had heard of humans being gone forever were suddenly shattered. Humans were here, and they acted differently than anyone imagined. John Miller spoke quietly to Amy. They thought we were gone. They thought humans were myths. Now they see we are real and they cannot understand us. Amy nodded. We do not need them to understand. We only need to protect. Above the planet, Alex directed the human ships with quiet efficiency. Paul, monitor all alien communications. See which groups are willing to retreat or cooperate. We act only where necessary. Paul nodded, fingers flying across the controls. Captain, some fleets are beginning to pull back. Confusion is spreading. Fear is growing. Alex smiled faintly. Good. Humans do not fight for glory. Humans act with thought that is stronger than firepower. John Miller led a small group to a building that had been partially destroyed. Civilians huddled inside, frightened and unsure. Move calmly, he said. We are here. Humans will protect you. Amy Turner helped an injured woman to her feet. You are safe now, she said. Humans are here. The woman looked at her with wide eyes, hope replacing fear. Small human strike teams disabled alien weapons without firing more than necessary. The aliens did not expect it. They tried to attack, but humans had already moved. Patience and planning made them untouchable in ways the aliens could not predict. Lieutenant Lisa Brown reported, Captain, alien fleets are not coordinating. Some are attacking each other by mistake. The fear of humans is spreading. Alex nodded. Humans act not for hate, but for protection. That is what they cannot predict. That is why they fear us. On the planet, John Miller and his team guided civilians to the last safe zones. Amy Turner moved through the injured, keeping them stable. Small alien units tried to interfere, but humans countered without unnecessary violence. They protected life, not seeking destruction. Above, Alex directed the main human ship. Paul, prepare a calm signal to the retreating fleets. Show them we are not hunting. Show them we act with purpose, not rage. Paul transmitted the message. The aliens slowed, hesitant. Their ships paused mid-flight, unsure what to do. Humans were present, but they did not fight like anyone else. The legends of humans, once dismissed as myths, were being rewritten in real time. Commanders whispered nervously in their ships. They are here, one said, and they do not act like anyone else. We cannot predict them. John Miller led civilians to a hillside where they could see the human ships moving above. Stay calm, he said. Humans are here. Humans protect. Amy Turner moved through the crowd, calming children and injured adults alike. Humans acted quietly but decisively. Every action saved lives. Every movement was controlled. Every decision was precise. The aliens could not understand it. Small strike teams moved through the remaining alien units, disabling weapons and guiding those who wanted to retreat safely. Humans acted without panic, without rage, without unnecessary destruction. The aliens had no experience with opponents like this. Lieutenant Lisa Brown observed quietly. Captain, their forces are scattering. They cannot act together. Humans have changed the battlefield. Alex nodded. Humans act with thought. Humans survive. They do not fight like the galaxy expects. That is why we are powerful. John Miller spoke softly to Amy. They thought humans were myths. Now they see we are real. They cannot understand us, and that is our advantage. Amy nodded. We protect. That is all that matters. Above, human ships continued to move with quiet precision. Every pod, every strike team, every action was calculated to protect, not destroy. Aliens watched in disbelief as humans moved differently than any species had ever moved. Fear replaced confidence. Hesitation replaced attack. Alex watched calmly. The galaxy is beginning to remember. Humans were never gone. Humans exist. And humans act differently than anyone else. On the planet, civilians began to cheer quietly as human teams guided them to safety. Alien forces that had not yet retreated paused, unsure what to do. Humans had not attacked recklessly. Humans had not caused unnecessary death. Humans had acted only to protect and to guide. John Miller looked up at the sky. They will never forget this. Humans exist. Humans protect. Humans survive. Amy Turner checked the last group of injured civilians. All stable, she said. We did it. Above, Alex watched the remaining alien ships. Let them go if they wish, he said. Humans do not chase. Humans act only when necessary. That is our strength. Lieutenant Lisa Brown smiled faintly. Captain, we have changed their perception. Humans are no longer myths. The galaxy is beginning to fear and respect us. Alex leaned back, satisfied. Humans are unpredictable. Humans survive. Humans protect. That is all they need to know. The stars above the broken system burned quietly, but humans moved steadily through chaos, calm, precise, and unstoppable in their patience. The galaxy was learning that humans were not myths. Humans were real, and humans acted differently than anyone could expect. Small alien fleets began to retreat, slowly, carefully, afraid to test humans too closely. Humans had proven without a fight that they could change the battle simply by existing, by acting with thought, patience, and protection instead of rage. John Miller looked at the last of the retreating aliens. Humans are here, he said quietly, and they will be remembered. Amy Turner nodded. Humans protect, that is all that matters. Above, Captain Alex Carter watched silently. The humans had done what few could imagine. They had arrived, acted with precision, protected life, and shown the galaxy that humans were real and different. The legends of humans were no longer just stories. They were history in the making. The alien fleets had stopped retreating in some areas, but confusion and fear filled their ranks. They did not understand humans. Their tactics were built on rage, overwhelming force, and strict hierarchy. Humans moved differently. Humans acted with patience, with thought, and with care. Captain Alex Carter watched from the human ship as alien commanders argued, unsure who to trust and unsure what to do next. Lieutenant Lisa Brown scanned the battlefield. Captain, some alien groups are trying to contact us. They are asking for guidance, but cautiously. They are afraid of us, but they need help. Alex nodded. Paul, open a comm communication channel. Do not threaten. Show them we act only to protect, not to destroy. Paul Wright transmitted the message. The aliens paused, unsure if it was a trick. After a moment, a fleet commander named Varin responded. Humans, we do not understand you. Why do you act this way? Why do you protect rather than attack? Alex replied quietly. We protect because life is worth protecting. We act only when necessary. We do not fight for glory or power. We fight to survive and to help others survive. Varin hesitated. We have not seen this before. The galaxy has taught us to fight aggressively. We are unsure how to respond. Then listen, Alex said. We will guide you. Follow our lead if you wish. Your ships can survive if you cooperate. Your civilians can be safe if you trust humans. Some alien commanders were still suspicious. Some withdrew further. But others hesitated, unsure what choice to make. Humans did not demand control. Humans offered protection. That confused the aliens more than attack ever could. On the planet below, John Miller and his team moved through areas still under attack. Civilians followed calmly, trusting the humans completely. Amy Turner treated injuries and guided those who were frightened. Every action was careful, every movement precise. The humans did not rush and they did not panic. John spoke to Amy. They think humans are gone. They think we are myths. Now we show them humans are real and humans act differently. That confuses them more than our weapons ever could. Amy nodded. We protect, John. That is all that matters. Small alien strike teams tried to interfere with humans, but humans predicted their moves. They disarmed weapons, redirected ships, and protected civilians without unnecessary violence. Alien officers whispered to each other. They move calmly, efficiently, predictably, yet unpredictably. How can this be? Alex observed quietly. Humans think differently. Humans act logically and decisively. Humans protect when others panic. That is why we succeed. Lieutenant Lisa Brown reported, Captain, some alien fleets are beginning to follow our guidance. They are unsure, but they are trying. Alex nodded. Good. Humans lead only when necessary. Humans act with care. We do not demand obedience, but we show the path. Paul Wright monitored the communications. Captain, the alien commanders following us report fewer casualties and more safety for civilians. They are reluctantly grateful. Alex allowed a faint smile. Humans are not feared because of strength alone. Humans are feared because humans act differently. No one understands how patience and planning can be stronger than rage. On the planet, John Miller guided the last group of civilians to a safe area. Explosions flickered in the distance, but humans moved steadily, calmly, without panic. Amy Turner tended to the injured and reassured the frightened. Civilians began to whisper among themselves. The humans, they are not myths. They protect, they guide, they survive. Above, human strike teams moved with precision, disabling alien weapons without unnecessary damage. Alien fleets had begun to slow entirely. Confusion ruled their ranks. They had never faced creatures who acted without anger, without desire for power, without panic, yet moved decisively when it mattered most. Lieutenant Lisa Brown spoke softly. "Captain, the remaining alien leaders are trying to coordinate with us. They are still hesitant, but they see that humans are different. They are scared, but they also trust us in a way." Alex nodded. "Humans inspire not because of fear alone, but because humans act with thought and care. They protect. That is our power." On the planet, John Miller led civilians to a hillside overlooking the human ships. They watched in awe as humans guided remaining alien ships safely away from the city. Explosions continued in the distance, but no civilians were harmed. The humans had changed the battle without recklessness, without unnecessary destruction. Amy Turner helped a child to sit safely. "You are safe now," she said. "Humans are here to protect you." The child's eyes widened, hope replacing fear. Small human strike teams continued disabling remaining alien weapons and guiding retreating fleets. Every movement was calculated. Humans did not panic. Humans did not act without purpose. Alien fleets could not predict them. They were terrified and fascinated at the same time. Alex watched the battlefield. "Paul, open another channel. Show the retreating fleets that humans are not hunting them. Show them we act with care, not rage." Paul transmitted the message. Alien fleets slowed further, unsure if they could trust humans, but too afraid to continue reckless attacks. Some ships turned entirely back toward safe zones, leaving the civilians and Allied ships unharmed. John Miller looked at the last alien units. "Humans are here," he said softly. "Humans protect, that is all that matters." Amy Turner nodded. "We saved lives today. Humans act differently, and that is enough." Above, Alex saw that humans had changed the battlefield not through force alone, but through calm, precise, and protective action. The aliens did not understand humans, and that confusion was stronger than any weapon. Lieutenant Lisa Brown reported, "Captain, the remaining alien fleets are following our guidance. They are not attacking civilians. Some even seem to respect our actions." Alex allowed a faint smile. "Humans act with patience, with planning, with care. Humans survive because humans think differently. Humans protect because it is necessary. The galaxy is beginning to see that humans are real." On the planet, civilians whispered among themselves. "Humans, they are not myths. They are here. They guide, they protect, they survive." John Miller led the last group to a safe zone. Amy Turner checked the injured and reassured the frightened. Humans had done what no one else could. They had acted calmly, efficiently, and with purpose in the middle of chaos. Above, human ships moved steadily. Small strike teams continued to guide and protect. The aliens could not understand it. Some were terrified, some were fascinated, all were changed. The myths of humans were no longer rumors. Humans were here, real and different from anyone else. Alex spoke quietly. "Humans survive because humans act with thought. Humans protect when others panic. Humans do not fight for glory, only for survival and the lives of others. That is our strength." Lieutenant Lisa Brown smiled. "Captain, we have changed more than this battle. The galaxy is beginning to see humans as real, not myths. Some even respect us." Alex nodded. "Humans inspire not because of power alone, but because humans act differently. Patience, planning, and protection are stronger than rage and chaos. The galaxy is remembering humans." On the planet, John Miller and Amy Turner gathered the civilians in a safe zone. The last explosions were in the distance, far from any of the people. Humans had acted efficiently, calmly, and decisively. Aliens had fled or retreated. Life was saved. Humans had proven themselves without unnecessary destruction. Alex watched quietly from his ship. Humans had arrived, humans had acted, and humans had changed the battlefield forever. The galaxy would remember today. Humans were real. Humans acted differently. Humans protected life when others would have destroyed it. The stars above the broken system burned quietly. Below, humans moved steadily through chaos, calm, precise, and unstoppable in their patience. The galaxy was learning that humans were not myths. Humans existed, and humans acted differently than anyone could expect. The battle was finally ending. Alien fleets had retreated in confusion and fear, unsure what to do next. Humans had acted with patience and thought, guiding civilians and allies to safety without unnecessary destruction. Captain Alex Carter watched the remaining ships slowly move away from the planet. Humans had not sought glory. Humans had not sought revenge. Humans had acted to protect life, and that was enough to change the outcome. Lieutenant Lisa Brown reported, "Captain, all remaining alien forces are retreating. They are following our guidance and not attacking civilians. Their fleets are damaged and they are hesitant to fight further." Alex nodded quietly. "Humans act differently. Humans protect. That is our strength. We do not need to destroy to win. We act with thought, with care, and with patience." Paul Wright monitored communications. Some alien commanders were sending cautious messages, expressing reluctant gratitude. They did not fully trust humans, but they had learned one thing: humans exist, and humans act differently than anyone expected. On the planet, John Miller and Amy Turner gathered civilians in safe zones. Children clung to their parents and adults whispered nervously about what had just happened. John spoke calmly, "You are safe now. Humans have protected you." Amy nodded, checking over the injured. "We saved lives today. Humans act with care, and that is stronger than fear." Small human strike teams moved through the remaining areas, guiding stray alien ships and disabled equipment to safe zones. They did not rush, and they did not panic. Every movement was careful and precise. The aliens watched from afar, unable to predict the humans' actions. Their fear and respect grew with every calm, controlled step. Alex considered the battlefield from his ship. Humans had changed more than just one fight. The myths of humanity, long dismissed as rumors, had become reality. Humans were present, and the galaxy had finally seen them for what they were: protectors, survivors, and beings who acted with thought, not anger. Lieutenant Lisa Brown smiled faintly. "Captain, the galaxy is beginning to see humans as more than myths. Some alien fleets are retreating completely, others are stopping attacks and regrouping under our guidance. They respect humans even if they are afraid." Alex allowed a small smile. "Humans survive not because of strength alone, but because humans act differently. Patience, planning, and protection are more powerful than chaos and rage." On the planet, civilians began to emerge from hiding. Children ran to their parents and adults looked up at the human ships in awe. John Miller spoke softly, "Humans are real. Humans act differently. They protect and they survive." Amy Turner helped a young boy to his feet. "You are safe now," she said. "Humans are here." The boy smiled shyly, and for the first time in days, hope replaced fear. Small human strike teams continued moving through the battlefield, helping disabled alien ships and guiding survivors. The aliens had expected humans to fight aggressively, to conquer, or to destroy. Instead, humans acted to protect, and that confused and terrified them. The galaxy had never seen such tactics before. Lieutenant Lisa Brown reported, "Captain, some alien commanders are sending messages to their fleets, saying humans are unpredictable but efficient. They are telling others to avoid humans unless necessary." Alex nodded. "Humans inspire not through destruction, but through protection. Humans survive because humans think differently. That is why the galaxy fears and respects them." John Miller moved with his team to the last group of civilians. Amy Turner followed, tending to the injured. Every human acted with calm efficiency. No one panicked. No one acted without thought. The aliens could not predict them, and that was humans' greatest advantage. The sun rose over the broken system, casting pale light on damaged ships and quiet planets. Explosions were gone. The smoke had cleared, the chaos had subsided. Humans had acted quietly, carefully, and decisively. The galaxy was beginning to remember them. Alex looked at the stars. "Humans exist. Humans act differently. Humans protect. The galaxy will remember this day." Paul Wright transmitted messages to remaining fleets. "Humans do not seek conquest," he said. "Humans act with thought and care. Follow our guidance if you wish to survive." Some alien fleets slowed, following the calm instructions. Others moved away, uncertain but cautious. Humans had not fired many weapons, yet they had changed the entire battlefield. Their presence alone forced hesitation and respect. On the planet, civilians gathered in the safe zones. Parents held their children tightly, whispering words of thanks. John Miller spoke softly, "Humans act with care, humans survive, humans protect, that is enough to change the galaxy." Amy Turner smiled at the children. "You are safe now," she said. "Humans are real." Human ships moved steadily, calmly, and with precision through the system. Strike teams assisted alien crews who were damaged or stranded. Humans did not rush. Humans did not panic. Every action was calculated, deliberate, and protective. Lieutenant Lisa Brown reported, "Captain, all systems show that alien casualties are lower than expected. Their fleets are reorganizing, but no one is attacking civilians. Humans have changed the battlefield without unnecessary destruction." Alex nodded. "Humans act with purpose. Humans protect. Humans survive. That is what the galaxy needs to remember." Small alien ships that had once attacked civilians now floated safely under human guidance. Alien commanders sent hesitant messages, acknowledging humans' presence. The galaxy had seen humans not as myths, not as rumors, but as real beings who acted differently than anyone expected. On the planet, John Miller and Amy Turner helped the last civilians into safety. Explosions were gone. Chaos had ended. Humans had acted calmly, efficiently, and decisively. Civilians whispered among themselves, "Humans, they are real, they protect, they survive." Above, Alex watched quietly. Today, humans showed the galaxy what it means to act differently. Humans survive not because of strength alone, but because humans act with thought, care, and patience. Lieutenant Lisa Brown smiled faintly. "Captain, some alien commanders are now speaking of humans as protectors, not myths. The galaxy is beginning to respect them." Alex allowed a small smile. "Humans act with care, and that is stronger than fear. Humans survive and humans protect. That is enough." John Miller spoke to the civilians. "Remember this day. Humans are real. Humans act differently. Humans protect. Humans survive." Amy Turner checked the injured one last time. "All stable," she said. "We did it. Humans protected them. Humans survived." The stars above the system burned quietly. Human ships moved steadily through the calm. Humans had acted, humans had protected, and humans had survived. The galaxy had witnessed something it had never seen before. Humans were not myths. Humans were real. Humans acted differently. Humans survived because humans protected life when others panicked. Alex looked at the horizon. Humans exist. Humans act differently. Humans protect. The galaxy will remember this day forever. Lieutenant Lisa Brown nodded. Humans inspire not because of strength alone, but because humans act differently. Patience, planning, and protection are more powerful than chaos and rage. John Miller and Amy Turner gathered the civilians in the safe zones. Children laughed quietly, and adults whispered words of gratitude. Humans had changed the outcome not by destroying, but by protecting. They had shown the galaxy that humans survived because humans acted with thought and care. Paul Wright transmitted one last message. Humans do not seek conquest. Humans act with care, patience, and thought. Humans survive because they protect. The galaxy is remembering humans. Alien fleets moved slowly, carefully, some retreating completely, others following human guidance. The galaxy had learned a new truth. Humans were real, humans acted differently, and humans protected life when others would have destroyed it. Alex looked at his crew. "We did what humans do best. We acted with thought, patience, and care. We protected life. We survived." Lieutenant Lisa Brown smiled. "Humans are no longer myths. The galaxy is beginning to see humans as real." John Miller spoke softly to Amy. "Humans survive because humans act differently. That is enough." Amy nodded. "We protected life today. Humans survive. Humans act differently. That is what matters." The stars above the broken system shone quietly. Below, humans moved steadily through calm, guiding civilians, assisting allies, and ensuring that life was safe. Humans had acted decisively, calmly, and efficiently. The galaxy would remember this day. Humans were real. Humans acted differently. Humans protected life. Humans survived. The myths of old were no longer just rumors. Humans were present, and the galaxy would never forget the difference they made. Captain Alex Carter looked at the horizon and whispered, "Humans exist. Humans act differently. Humans protect. Humans survive." The crew nodded silently. The galaxy had learned a new truth. Humans were not myths. Humans were real. Humans acted with thought, patience, and care. Humans survived, and that was enough. And somewhere in the vast stars, across countless planets and fleets, the story of humans would spread. Ancient rumors became history. The galaxy would remember the day humans joined the battle, and how their actions reminded everyone that humans acted differently, humans protected life, and humans survived.